So today I went out to buy some bananas, and the vendor guy looked at me and said, "आपके बाल जा रहे हैं?" And I said, "जा नहीं रहे हैं, जा चुके हैं." And he suggested me some recipe. And then I remember a couple days back, I think it was last week, somebody dear to me. I mean, he's dear to me, but he's not a friend. I don't talk to him every day, or I don't, go to him with my problems. He said the same shit, and these are people who don't hang out around me, so it's kind of like the feedback I'm getting is real, it's authentic, it's like it's not bullshit. And one thing I realize is that, they are giving me an advice, which is great, and they're doing it in good spirit, but I don't give a fuck. It's like my hair are going, I genuinely do not care, I just don't. If they're gonna go out, they're gonna go out. My grandfather did not have hair, my father doesn't. So I'm gonna be the represent, right? I'm gonna be the album cover of our family as well. That's what we do. Maybe that is our, identity. That is our PR. That is our face. Bald men. So let me to kind of think that, how sometimes when people are trying to make fun of you, these two were not trying to make fun of you. But when people try to make fun of you and they keep saying the same shit again and again, and if it's a lot of people saying that, we start believing it. And what I really think about it is that, well, I think you already do believe that. And that's why them saying it all the time and you go back home, and if that thing sustains and actually becomes what you think about yourself, then yeah, that's the problem. You already believe that. Now, again, the thing is like, if a lot of people are telling you something, there is truth to that. They are seeing it from that perspective, right? Take it objectively. But then the values attached to it, you gotta really think about it, like, do you really give a fuck? Or do you have the time to give a fuck about that? Or is it worth caring? Because something like losing hair for dudes is a big problem. I have this little boy, he's 14 years old, lives right next to me, to us actually, to my family. And he asked my mother to make some kind of onion recipe for his hair. And this guy has a full head of hair. Whenever I go to the gym, somebody has, put their phone on the speakers. And for some reason, they like to use YouTube for music. And then, some ad will come, and that ad will be about hair transplant. And I know why that is the case, because Instagram and Google, they understand that you are going bald, or that you are insecure about how you look. So that's gotta be a problem. But to me, it doesn't matter. Like, if I have a shitty brain, then that is a bigger concern. If I can't come up with, ideas, if I can't write, if I can't be diligent at my work, if I lose my sense of purpose, then the number one priority for me is to come back to that sense of purpose. It is to force myself to maintain my sense of purpose. That's what I believe. There's gonna be a lot of honking because a lot of people are in a rush. It's the office hours. So that's gonna be my priority. I don't give a fuck about my hair, man. I never did. I think that's why they're gone as well. So embrace change. That's what it is. And also, this doesn't mean that I'm enlightened, to be honest. It's just like, this part is what I don't give a fuck about. I remember being in the gym, and I have my gym bro. One day while he was coming up and I was hitting a lot of weights on my biceps, and I saw that I have a great pump, I remember lifting a little too heavy weight just to impress him a bit. But he's already impressed, right? He compliments me on my physique, all homo. And I just thought that, okay, when I'm trying to be a particular way, just to get some kind of validation, it doesn't feel good. And why does it not feel good? Because I'm trying to predict future. I have this fantasy where the other person looks at my biceps, which are not big anyway, but bigger than they have ever been. And in my illusion, I, create the tension inside of me. So then I just let go of the tension. I was like, fuck it. Who gives a fuck? Let's not do that. So that is something that rides us human beings. And that is something which is crazy. Because we make, and by we I mean corporations make so much money because of that. And I understand you gotta take care of yourself. I understand you have to, you gotta stay groomed and everything. But then if you're not groomed one day, who gives a fuck? If you're not groomed for a week, who gives a fuck, right? It's all about coming back to your baseline, thinking about things that matter and not distract ourselves from things that truly matter. Like, I truly, truly believe that we should stay true to our nature. We should try our best to stay true to our nature. And the wrestle is simple. The wrestle is you are just not gonna be true to your nature. That's just what it is. It's a wrestle because the systems around us want us to conform. They want us to fall in line, and they don't have very bad reasons to do so. But then people who do not want to fall in line, people who don't want to do that, they should stay true to their nature and not fall in line. Or fall in line a little bit, negotiate. Because that is all there is. And as I drive through Dehradun, there is one very beautiful thing about this city. It's a beautiful combination of mountains and cities. And not city. It's not a tale of two cities really, it's a tale of mountains and cities. And our cities, we have clubs here now, we have great gyms, we have really beautiful places to hang out at, something very city vibe. We have H&M, right? And like flexing, we have H&M. It's kind of like flexing, you have Domino's, to be honest. We have Marks and Spencer's, but just for the name of it. The clothes you find there are shit. There is no variety there. But still, for the name, for the sake of it, we have that shit, right? So people can buy it and feel better about themselves that they have some, their body is covered with some shit. But that city life leads you, and because there is a lot of incentive in there. The city life leads you to get distracted easily because you have more options to get distracted. But then whenever you drive from Dehradun to some mountain which is really nearby always, right, like 15 kilometers, 20 kilometers, there are no billboards there. Like when you are in the city and you see a billboard, you know that somebody is trying to sell you something. Somebody wants your money. And the worst of all, everything wants your soul. They want to suck it out of you. They want you to spend money. They don't give a fuck if you're home and you're an alcoholic. There's gonna be no policy to not sell alcohol to them. Why? Because yeah man, money, and also we are not responsible for that person. Makes sense. But to realize that you are at least responsible for yourself, first of all, right? Like before when I was talking about maintaining your sense of purpose, that is also you being responsible for yourself. And how responsible are we? We are not. I am not. And to find that around, that's gotta be just insane. Why? Because we already got what we want. Not want, we already have what we need. We have those mechanisms that can lead us to that path. All we have to do is erase the noise, decrease the pollution in our heads. How do we do that? Well, we do that by setting our priorities straight. What do we want? What do we need? What will satisfy us on the surface level? And then also what will get us back to our natural homeostasis. Something that will actually satisfy a deeper need, man. That's what we have to contemplate things about. And that's why Dehradun is a beautiful place. You can be in the city and be distracted so you can understand that life, because that life is also very important. Because cities bring a sense of purpose. I love going to Delhi because whenever I'm in Delhi, I'm working. Because I see how much people are working there and how much I have to work to make it. And then I come back to my place, which is a smaller city, and I feel a little chill. So I can be creative a lot. I mean, I'm also creative in Delhi because you know what? I am very, very creative. But then you come here and when you go to the mountains, it feels like the mountain is like an old man who is not tired but has less pollution, no pun intended. And it also has less billboards. There are way less things that are trying to sell you anything. They don't want your soul. So you are in a city trying to sell your soul, so you learn how to not let things sell your soul. That's what you learn in cities. And then you go to the mountains and you experience yourself fully. Whereas you can experience yourself in cities as well. And the way you learn how to not sell your soul is by experiencing yourself. So you're pretty much doing the same thing, regardless that you are in a city or somewhere else. And living like this, experiencing yourself wherever you go. When you go to a new place, you rearrange the environment according to your own wish. This would mean that you exert your inner will. You try to get, in your skin, be comfortable. And by comfort doesn't mean that you don't have any stress. Comfort means that you are staying authentic. If you are stressed, you are stressed. If you are not, you are not. If you care, you care. If you don't, you don't. That's gotta be there. And the emotion of shame is what controls us when we are trying to express ourselves. It's either shame or it's guilt. And both of these emotions try to control us and stop us from being ourselves. But then again, right, like the same concept. If you're trying to be yourself, like, have you created yourself yet? So here's the idea. You create yourself in the cities and you be yourself in the cities. You know why? And I've said this in a podcast, but in the process of creating yourself, you're also being yourself, because you are being yourself and you're creating yourself. So it's the same thing. It's paradoxical, but it's true. It's paradoxical, but it's true. In the process of rebuilding a house, you have to recognize that the material you bring together and put together, that's not you. But the one putting that together is also you. Because everything is you, right? So being yourself is creating yourself in that way. It's a process, it's a becoming. It's not to become something, it's not to become me. It's about becoming me. And that will be what we should be fine with. Because we live in a world of resumes. We live in a world where human being is reduced to letters on a page, which is functional, which is, practical. That's one of the best ways we have, the most effective ways we have to assign roles to people. But that's not the whole thing. That's not the whole thing, and it should not be the whole thing at all. There is way more to us than, our numbers. We are not data points. I mean, we are when it comes to social media. But we are not data points in our whole life. There was a thing said by Joey Diaz, who I love Joey Diaz. He's a very wise man. Joey Diaz said that before we used to go to the internet to escape life. But now we go to life to escape the internet. And that is true, man. So now when you're spending a lot of time on the internet, on social media, on this weird world, I don't know, because it's not even the subjective world, is it? The digital world is not the subjective world. The digital world is not the objective world. It's somebody else's subjectivity turned into seemingly objective thing. It's like a new kind of Maya. It's like a new kind of illusion. Because we sit at home and we are on the internet and we find that It's crazy, everybody is dying, everything is insane, everything is radical, people are crazy. Oh, if I say this shit, I'll be dead. But then you go out to the real world and nobody gives a fuck. Why? Because most people are fine. Most people are fine. They are doing their jobs, they have responsibilities, they go ahead, they do their things. They go home, they have fun, or they have a fight and they go to sleep. That's what human beings do. And hating on human beings gotta be crazy, because we are chill, man. We are everything. It's like reading a book, right? Even if you read a horrible book, I mean, I won't suggest you reading Chetan Bhagat and tons of other writers. Don't even read like Da Vinci Code. Dan Brown is a shitty writer, let's be honest. So we lose our authenticity and we negotiate it, man. And we negotiate it for what? Like, what are we getting in return? Lethargy, hate for mankind, hate for human spirit, believing that human spirit is very shitty, and to believe that we are sinful. I mean, it's a Christian idea, right? We are very sinful, but how are we? Like, you're just, like, your default is sin. What the fuck are we talking about? And the rationality for that could be that, yeah, there is suffering, and suffering is the default of the world. Yeah, I agree with that. Suffering is the default of the world, because I do agree with that, right? Like, it's a default. You're born with that shit. You see, the sun is riding with me. Just pay attention to the sun, man. How cool does it look? It looks like a missile, or a missile, or a rocket. Sin is not the default. Suffering is the default because suffering is the dragon that has the gold. So when we say that suffering is the default, it also means that wisdom is also the default, because that is what suffering brings. That's what brings meaning to life. Because what will we do? Like, imagine playing a video game where there is no difficulty. Like, what is the meaning of life? Is to overcome things, isn't it? Is to feel a sense of power, feel a sense of strength over nature. A little bit, right? Even in our illusions, just to feel that yeah, we can change our course. We can change the direction of this beautiful river. Bit by bit, we can do that. And it definitely is possible, because people have done that before. And they had the same limbic system, they had the same cortical system, they had the same things that we have. It's just about, sometimes just about showing up. Like, quality of work is, I understand quality of work, but how are you going to learn to better your quality if you're not doing things consistently? If you're not just putting those things out. Like, the idea of memes by Richard Dawkins is beautiful. What meme means is that it's not just the physical things that evolve, it's also the cultural elements that do. And these cultural elements, those are known as memes. So this could be language, tonality of people, the way they talk, or some kind of dancing or fashion, right? These are all memes. And these memes also evolve. And the way they evolve also shows a lot about the culture. It shows a lot about human beings, like how we will, bend the meaning of some words that meant completely different things in the beginning, and then we just change, and something else in the beginning, and we just change something else in the beginning, we just change the meaning of it. And not just that we change the meaning of it, we give it the antonym. So the word meek meant strength under control. And that's why in the Bible it was written that people who are like the meek will reach God first, right? Meek meant strength under control. But in today's day and age, the word meek means submissive and weak. So it shows how the culture changed. It does. And these memes change. And what are these memes if not ideas, if not, something that happens here? And ideas are crazy. Ideas can possess people. Think about ideologues, right? Think about a radical feminist or a radical misogynist. Ideas possess people. Those ideas will have crazy biological reactions in them. And not just biological, but also psychobiological or biopsychological. Every kind of effect in them. It controls them, the idea, and they live their whole life trying to protect an idea. But that's a really weird way to live life. The sun is back. It's a really weird way to live life. Because your ideas are not you. Why should they be? Your ideas are not you at all. And the ideas you have about yourself are not you at all. You are this procedural memory that lives. Procedural memory that moves. Procedural memory that is, that has billions of years of evolution behind it. It knows so much. But we don't trust it. And sometimes we have good reasons to do so. Because that is what life is. That is what life is. And not life is actually, that is the life we have created. You can be free from all of this and do things that make you feel like yourself. Because there is this beautiful idea. There's a beautiful idea by Sam Harris. He said that a good way to live life is to be a better friend to your future self. So true. It is about being a better friend to your future self so that you can think about your past self then and be like, I'm glad you did that shit. I'm glad you did that shit. I think it was difficult, but I'm glad that you did. I think about comedians, right? Because I love comedy. Comedians who have made it, they always say that if I get to be 21 again, I will not choose to do so. Even though I understand I'll have a better health, I understand I'll be young. But I have made a successful career. I don't want to do this shit again. And also the beautiful delusion when you're young, it's crazy. Because I experience it all the time. And I'm only saying this to be humble or to not get deluded. But then I myself have this delusion that some crazy shit will happen for sure. Like what I'm doing, something's gonna happen for sure. And even if it doesn't, it's fun to do. But this delusion, I think it's required, right? It's required. You can't just sit there, because if you go with stats, then yeah, everybody should not do anything. Let's be honest, right? What is the success rate of things? Not very high. It's not 100%, so not everybody should try, right? But sometimes stats can be bullshit. Those are just numbers, aren't they? And I can write that number down, call it a stat. So, you are not a stat. At the end of it, you are not a stat. You are not a number. Okay? You are not solely soul either. You are not solely body either. You can't put labels on yourself. And I mean this very fundamentally. You can't put labels on yourself because you are procedural memory. How can you put labels on procedural memory? How can you write down procedural memory and give it to somebody else? It's not possible. So don't put labels on yourself, okay? This doesn't mean that if you are a piece of shit, then you should think, yo, I did it because... No. You are a piece of shit. A part of you is a piece of shit. Try to get rid of it if it causes pain to you, right? That's the meaning of life. Be a better friend to your future self. Did I say the? That's a meaning of life. There are a lot of meanings to life. It's your wish when it's a buffet. Eat your food, eat your meal, have fun. Now, what do we mean by fun, right? That's gonna be for a future conversation because I have just reached my spot. Bye-bye.